Stop blaming yourself. One of the things that upsets me the most about infidelity is when the person who had nothing to do with it gets to blame. Most wives think their husband's struggle with lust began in their marriage, or it started when he stopped pursuing her, or when their intimacy began to decline. As a marriage counselor, I can tell you that the truth is way deeper than that, and thankfully, far less personal. Your husband's battle with lust didn't start with you. It began in childhood, during the years when boys are trying to answer one of the most important questions of their lives. Who am I supposed to be? Let me explain. Your husband's lust isn't about you. It never was. But until you know where it actually started, you'll keep fighting the wrong battle. You'll keep finding yourself feeling discouraged, betrayed, and embarrassed. No more of that, because now I'm in your corner. I have a huge heart for men and the impact that they can make on their families, but I've also come to understand that they can't do it alone. I'm glad I have your attention because your husband needs you. Your family needs you. You need you to stop feeling the way that you do. My name's Jordan Joaquim. I'm a licensed mental health therapist and marriage counselor who's been working in this field for over 10 years. But today, I'm here just for you. This is the first video on my playlist, Your Husband's Lust Problem, a wife's guide. It's meant to help you understand what is going on with your husband and, more importantly, what you can do about it. Hit like and subscribe if you want to follow this series and learn more from my other content as well. Now, if your husband is a little more complicated and can use a guide of his own on how to rebuild trust and save his marriage, check out my ebook, How to Love Her Like Christ Loved the Church. It gives you a practical, biblical framework for what love actually looks like. It's the first link in the description. Now, ladies, let's have a little chat. Boys look to their peers to understand themselves. Childhood and early adolescence are identity-building years. One of the most influential figures in the history of psychology, Erik Erikson, discovered that between the ages of 12 to 18, we enter the stage of identity versus role confusion. He also went on to say that failing this stage leads to issues with fidelity, something you unfortunately know all too well. We'll talk more about what you don't know, however. Boys watch the world around them and try to figure out how to act, how to fit in, how to be accepted, how to be a man. And boys with low self-esteem, insecure attachment, or who have had little emotional guidance are especially vulnerable to the loudest and most dominant peer groups. Those groups are often equating aggression with strength, emotional numbness with maturity, lust with masculinity. So the boy learns, if I want to belong, I need to act like them. He didn't start with lustful thinking. It wasn't even his to begin with, but he adopted it. He adopts behaviors he never originally believed in. This is the tragedy of identity formation. A boy doesn't pursue lust because he's driven by desire. He pursues it because he's driven by belonging. He learns, real men talk about girls this way. Real men brag about sexual things. Real men chase attention. Real men don't show weakness. At this age, he's not trying to be sexual. He's trying to be accepted. This is exactly what Erik Erikson meant by role confusion. When a child doesn't have a stable sense of self, he borrows one from the group, and that group is rarely the right one. Role confusion becomes identity confusion. Erikson teaches that if a boy doesn't form a healthy identity in adolescence, he enters adulthood with confusion about who he is, insecurity about his worth, dependence on external validation, and a fragile sense of masculinity. And unless you studied psychology or follow content like this, you never learn that. Role confusion in adolescence becomes fidelity confusion in adulthood. A man who never formed a stable identity struggles with loyalty, consistency, emotional regulation, self-control, and healthy intimacy. Not because he's evil, but because he's unfinished. He never successfully completed the stage of identity. The same identity confusion shows up in marriage. This is the part wives see today. A man who still ties masculinity to lust, still seeks validation from fantasy, still feels pressure to perform manhood, still fears emotional vulnerability, still hides shame instead of confronting it. He's not just fighting lust, he's fighting the identity he borrowed as a boy. He's fighting the lie that lust equals manhood, emotional distance equals strength, desire equals worth, and attention equals identity. This is why so many wives say, he acts like a teenage boy in a man's body, because emotionally, that's where he's been frozen in time. Why this matters for you as a wife. When wives believe the struggle started in adulthood, they personalize it. When wives believe the struggle started in their marriage, they blame themselves. They feel unwanted, compared, not enough. But when they understand it started in childhood, something happens. You stop seeing yourself as the cause, but you also stop seeing yourself as the cure. And you start seeing the real battle he's fighting. A battle with old wiring, old wounds, and old patterns formed long before he ever loved you. We're not excusing the behavior. We're understanding how it got there so we can stop making his problem ours. So we can start seeing his problem for what it really is. The hope. The good news is this. He's not broken, you're not stuck. And you both can have the marriage you deserve. What was formed in childhood can be healed in adulthood. Identity can be rebuilt for anyone during any time. Masculinity can be redefined, and this time with the definition that does more help than harm. Shame can be broken and left in the past. Patterns can be rewired with the right updating. And marriages can be restored, starting when both partners understand the real story, where this all started and what's really going on. Your husband's lust problem didn't start with you, but his healing can. The next video 2 in this series, will keep us moving in that direction. If you appreciate this message or my way of delivering it, do me a favor and give this video a like. Subscribe to get everything out of this and future series. If you want to help your husband overall, make sure to check out my ebook, How to Love Her Like Christ Loved the Church. This marriage-saving resource is the first link in the description. If you feel like this video could help someone else, don't be greedy. Sharing is caring. Share this video with them and let them learn something new too. I look forward to catching up with you in the next video coming up now. But until then, God bless you and your family.